I've been using Backbone gaming controllers ever since the first Lightning one, and then I got the USB-C one, and I really wanted to try the Backbone Pro, but I'd honestly just been so busy I didn't get a chance. Matter of fact, Backbone was the first company that I actually reached out to and asked them to collaborate with me, and they decided to not do that, but that's fine because it's their loss, not mine. But nonetheless, I got the Backbone Pro because I really wanted to try this out and see how it compares to the other controllers I've been using, specifically the GameSir G8 and then the GameSir G8 Plus. Right away, I want to talk about something that a lot of people talked about, which is the price. I bought this for $169 off of Amazon, and man, that price is steep. The original ones used to go for $100, and that was actually very reasonable. I remember buying each of them, but this one, I had to think about it a little bit more. But I think like after playing around with it, even though the price isn't perfect, this controller is really perfect. Like it really feels great in the hand, which brings me to the actual ergonomics because that is one of the most important things when you are gaming, whether it's an iPhone. I've been using this with the Fold 7, so and that is an experience of its own, by the way. And then also the 16E, I also tested it with the 16 Pro, just to see how this is going to feel after gaming, not with only one kind of device, but several different devices. Now, the controller itself has USB-C, but it also has Bluetooth. So the cool thing here is that you can play it with a computer. You can use it with an iPad. And that's something that I actually liked about the GameSir G8 Plus is the fact that it has Bluetooth because I can use it with my phone, I can use it with my iPad, and in both places I get a very good experience. So I like the fact that they added both of those options. As far as like the design itself it goes, like at the bottom you've got your audio jack, you've got a pairing button, you've got the USB-C, which is going to charge your Backbone controller, but then also pass through charging for your phone. And then you have your AXYB buttons, you have your joysticks, which are not Hall effect joysticks, which I wish they were at this price point, but they still have a really good feel to them. You've got your D-pad, your basic controllers, and then the triggers at the backside. So you've got your bumper pads and then also your triggers. And both feel really good. Like the feel of this controller is really, really good in the hand. I don't know how else to describe it except for that. When it opens up, it also has a little bit of wobble, but it's not the same as previous editions of these. Like this felt a little bit more creaky, right? Like a little bit more nimble, but this Backbone Pro has more of a solid feel to it. Lastly, you've also got two buttons at the back, which is really nice because I really love that on my GameSir. This is great for mapping anything to this specific button so you don't have to take your hands off the joystick. Now, one thing to note, if you do have a folding phone, at least for the Galaxy Z Fold 7, it does not fit in here if you just are playing it when it's actually folded. Unfolded, it's perfect, which and a really great experience. But if it is folded and you try to put it in here, it's not going to fit because of this like little piece over here. There's just not enough room for the Z Fold 7 because it is a bit thicker than your traditional smartphone. But everything else, I didn't have any issue. Another thing I really liked is the texture on the grips of the controller and on the triggers of the controller. This just adds to your grip when you're actually playing a game, and it's really enjoyable. I really like it. Honestly, like if you get past that price point, it's a pain point, not even a price point. But you get past that, and the experience that Backbone gives you is so much better than any third-party controller. Why? Because of like their app, the compatibility. Like for example, getting my GameSir to connect to the Galaxy Z Fold 7 initially was a pain. Whereas when I connected this, it recognized it right away. It wasn't even any issue whatsoever. And then on top of that, with their app, there's a lot of settings that you can control and everything. And so the setup part and compatibility part, like this Backbone Pro controller does really well. And so do all the older editions of the controller. That was one thing, especially with iPhones when they had the lightning cables. It's hard to get a controller that's actually going to work in the way that you expect it to work. So this always had the upper edge in terms of that. I also think that is very true right now. This has a huge edge on its competition. For example, a lot of games, third party controllers won't recognize certain buttons, and you have to like touch the screen instead. For example, Call of Duty is one I play. Whenever I play with the GameSir GA Plus, I have to always press the A button and it doesn't work. So I have to touch the screen in order to go through all the different menus. It only works when it's actually in a physical game. Another thing I really liked about this controller is like intelligent charging, which basically means that the controller is able to understand when it really needs power or when it should just pass that power on to your device. So when it really needs power, for example, the other day when I was playing, the controller was really low, it was like 25% ish. And so I plugged it in and the controller charged fast and my phone charged slower. Why? Because it was passing majority of the power to the controller first to keep it from dying, and then the rest of the power to the phone. So I was still able to charge up my phone a good 10%, but it took a lot longer. So that's really cool. And that's something, again, that just goes to show you like the experience you get with first party products. And that is something that you're basically paying for. And overall, I know like the price on this controller sucks and it's a little tough to get through, but given the fact that I've kept every backbone for a long time, and this is something that I don't see breaking in the future because of the durability that I've had with previous iterations of the product, I think that if you can get past it, it is well worth it because that first party experience that you get, the first party compatibility that you get, that is really worth it. That is where companies add that extra tax. Apple does it all the time, don't they? Apple doesn't have the latest features compared to an Android phone, but they charge you the Apple tax. And that's what Backbone is doing here. But if you ask me, I think they deserve it because they've done a wonderful job in terms of experience, software, and everything. I still won't be getting the membership, but the app is still useful. The controller, really an enjoyable experience. I hope this video helps you in figuring out whether this controller is the right one for you. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Give me a huge thumbs up so more people can find this video. And most importantly, take care of yourself and I will see you in the next video.